All right, so we've talked about how bad AI can be for your branding, how cheap it looks, but can it cause you trouble when it's blatantly on television with tons and tons of people watching? This is what happens when you remove artists and decide to use AI. So we gotta talk about what happened with WWE over the weekend, because this is a big story about how it can ruin your branding over time. So this is why it kind of just hits me. Why are they using AI when they don't have to? This place has loads of money and they're choosing the wrong places to involve AI, which is in the creative division, which is basically everything that they show on TV and in their stories and everything else, right? So one of the other big things for branding for WWE and wrestling in general is their championship belts. So let's look at the championship belts, the main heavyweight championship belt for WWE. And I'm going to turn off my model real quick. Now, as you can see here, they've had so many belts. I know these are kind of low quality, but as you can see here, they've had a lot of different designs, So this is the most current one that we know of, right? This is the one you see on TV with people. Now they have other championship belts from other places, in the hierarchy. And here is the Intercontinental belt. Now the Intercontinental belt is one of the belts that's lower, so less popular, well, not less popular, but people who are not the main stars would probably get something like this, right? So right now, this is the old version and this is the new version. Okay, so keep these belts in mind. Now, this is the AAA Lucha Libre Mega Championship title. Okay, this is for think WWE, but in Mexico, and they have a partnership with WWE, so this is their belt. I wanted to show you just a better picture of it. Just ignore the shipping and all that. This is just somebody made their own. So I just wanted you guys just to see what it looks like. It's very, it's very Mexican coded. Okay. Now there is the competition for WWE, and that's called All Elite Wrestling. Now I'm going to show you their belts too. I just wanted to show you guys this for reference. These are the two belts. I know they don't really seem that different, but they are different. They have different symbols and stuff. I'll remove my model for a second so you guys can see like there's the world here and half the world over here. And here is on the old one, they have half the world here and half the world here. It's just, it's a little bit of a difference. Not that much, but the main point is that it says AEW right in the center. Okay. Now this is their competition. Now that I feel that I have caught you up on all of this stuff, this is stuff about branding. Okay. Now you guys can see how important these belts are to these companies. These are shown on TV, images, stills everywhere, on the wrestlers, on even when they're out in public, they're carrying these things. So you can see that these wrestling companies are very precious with their brand. Now, the bad example is that they've decided to use it for the creative writing team to make all of their stories for their wrestlers. Now, the problem with this is that they've started to use it for the creative writing part, because all wrestling has a creative writing team to make all their own stories for their wrestlers, because TV time is precious. Now, some other wrestling promotions sometimes let the talent write it. Sometimes it's like a cooperative thing, but WWE doesn't let people do their own unless they're very well trained. Like, for example, The Rock, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, people who don't have to be managed, who they can trust to be on television without being scripted. Okay. So as you saw 2 years ago, they used that in a promo. And then back in March, they used it for another wrestler that was it was supposed to be a joke or whatever, but it was all AI, and people were back and forth about its use because it was supposed to be a joke that he's bad, but it doesn't really matter because you really didn't need to use AI for that. I'm not going to show it because I'm not sure if it will get me kicked, but if you guys want to look it up, you guys can look up El Grande, what's his name? Americano. It's El Grande Americano. Here's just one little screenshot. As you can see, his clothes look bad. The stars are misaligned. There's literally a person's sixth finger here. This is all unclear. Even though there's shoes here, people are standing, You can't even see any of the people. It's just weird. It's just weird. Now, 3 months ago, they introduced this guy named Cyrus, who is very AI forward. I doubt he's even a writer, to be honest, because they have a boardroom of writers for WWE because there's so many people in WWE. Now, WWE has a contract with Writer AI, a platform which has already been fed WWE script content. Thus far, the AI software has come up with what one person's knowledge of a situation called absurdly bad storylines. They pitched a storyline where Bobby Lashley, who I guess they thought still worked at the company, would come back as a wrestler who was obsessed with Japanese culture and history. Now, at the moment, he works at the competition, which is AEW, as you can see, so that is time wasted, in my opinion. And we can't be sure that these storylines wouldn't accidentally be offensive, because in the 90s, a lot of some of the storylines were kind of like, ooh, and some even the 2000s ones were kind of bad. And I'm not saying all of them, I'm just saying some of them. In my opinion, this is why they're wasting time and money when wrestling companies trade wrestlers like they're magic cards, and then AI believes that all wrestlers still work there or wrestle, even if some of them might not actually be working there. They might be dead. They might be no longer wrestling because they're too old. And this is just the tipping point of why you shouldn't be using AI for any of your branding materials or let it do any creative tasks whatsoever, even if you feed it everything. Redfield. So now that you're all caught up with the story and the lore, if you guys like these videos, I just wanted to ask you if you could please subscribe to my channel because you like the silly videos that I make by hitting that subscribe button. Also, if you could go over to my Patreon and, I don't know, subscribe to that too. I have a $1 and a $5 tier. So anyway, in we have Dominik Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's son. He has the Intercontinental belt and he has the AAA belt for Lucha Libre, the Mexican promotion over in Mexico. Now, a few days ago, he put out a promo. Now, a promo for a wrestler is kind of like how the wrestler sells the story. It's to build hype for matches or for themselves. So I'm not going to show the whole video because I'm not sure what WWE is going to do. I don't know if they can copyright strike me for showing a few seconds of things here and there. So let's go look at it, shall we? Now I'm going to play this in slow motion for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about, okay? Let me get this up on the screen. All right. As you can see right there, right here, it shows a completely different belt. That looks like that actually says T, like that could be TNA, possibly. Here's something else. Now this is supposed to be for their belt. This could literally say anything. That says that's the Intercontinental right there, but that doesn't say anything, right? So it's not even showing the branding of the belts. But this could be any belt, right? And right there, look at that. That clearly says AEW. That is the alternate company to WWE on a show that has a partnership with WWE, uses their WWE wrestlers. He is one of the main roster champions. This is blatantly advertising for the alternate company. This is like if Coca-Cola made an AI ad and it blatantly showed the Pepsi logo on it, and it just said Pepsi. It didn't even say Coca-Cola, it just said Pepsi. That's basically what they did. And this was put on TV, Fox Sports. And you can go through it a little bit more and it erases it and it just makes different belts. Right there you could see it for a second. It was the real belt for only a second. But it changes to other stuff. Like that right there, that looks like it's supposed to be a WWF belt. Now this is for their Latino promotion. This is supposed to highlight Dominik Mysterio as the champion. He has the mega championship. Wouldn't this be extremely stupid to air on television? And then there's another part I got to show you. So on the mat for wrestling now, they put brands on there, right? Brands that they have sponsorships with to get money. I wanted to show that also, look, can you imagine if this was 20 years ago? I saw something by Lavender Town. She made a very good point where what she said was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, something that looks like this, what you see right here, see where it says San Dicio or whatever, that would not be acceptable to put on television at any point. All of these graphics would have to be clear. There would have to be no misspellings, no errors. And even here, it's changing what the arena looks like as they move around. And I thought you guys would love to see this. So in the badness of this, there is PlayStation, PlayStation logo. Look at this. Hold on, let me move my thing over. Look at this. Right here is the PlayStation logo, and the PlayStation logo is right there. That isn't even supposed to be there. And I don't even know what's happening. I don't even know what's happening with all this, because you can't even see what her hand is doing. There's like mixed whatever is up here. And I just wanted to show you guys that I'm going to let this play for a second, and it's actually going to change back and forth between the two logos for no reason. Like, why is this even on here? I also wanted to show this because this is another thing where AI was used in a way where you can't tell who the branding is. Right here is this is supposed to be the AAA belt, and this is supposed to be, what belt is this? Whose belt is that? That's not the Intercontinental one, because you can't see shit. Let's look at it for just a second. And he's oh my goodness, he's missing a finger actually. Look, when you go back a little bit, look at that. He's got a thumb, and he has 2 fingers and then 4. So what were they thinking? So now that you've seen it, why is it bad for branding? For one, accidental cross promotion of the direct competitor. AEW is WWE's main rival in the North America Pro Wrestling, even for a split second on a WWE affiliated production via the AAA partnership and the promo featuring WWE contracted star, showing the AEW logo on the champion's belt gives free unintended visibility for the brand. It subtly implies a crossover or a legitimacy in a way that WWE would never want, especially since WWE tightly controls its talent to avoid promoting rivals. This is perceived as sloppiness and embarrassing. WWE and its partners used AI for graphics and the error highlights how rushed and poorly overseen this was. Fans and critics have mocked it and called it AI slop, obviously, and this is a catastrophic screw-up, which undermines WWE's image as a high-production professional company. It fuels narratives that WWE is cutting corners or relies too much and heavily on automation without doing any kind of quality checks. There is no artists and no writers looking over that shit. Not to mention, it does seem kind of like, why did the AI have to be on the Latino show? Is it like they wanted to cheap out because it's a Latino program? Sorry, that's just me feeling that way. On top of this, fans and people who've seen it. Now this only happened just yesterday or the day before or something. Social media has been lit up making fun of Dominik Mysterio, calling him the new AEW champion, and Forbidden Door confirmed. This gives rival fans ammo to troll WWE, even if it's neutral or WWE fans see it as an embarrassing mistake that makes WWE look incompetent. Now, they've already fixed it, but even on their official YouTube account, that is still the problem is still there. That link that I was watching, that was on their official account. So you know what we're gonna do real quick? We're gonna go to the comments on Twitter, because you know that I love that. You know that's my favorite part. So let's go. It's clear AI knows who the best wrestling company is. Their Dirty Dom is confirmed all elite. When did Dominik become all elite using AI? And a shout out to AEW? You mean the new AEW champ? And it's like, maybe stop using AI and advertising your competitors' belts. Y'all are part of $1 billion company, but still use AI for promo videos and it backfired. This is beyond embarrassing. Here's this one here that says, surely it couldn't be that hard to make a human-created promo package. I'ma keep it real with you, Chief. They're bodying you in the comments and you deserve it. You know, and someone right here says, Tony Khan, send that cease and desist, big bro. I mean, here's one that says, multi-billion-dollar company can't pay someone $500 to commission an actual edit, so they paid the price by accidentally promoting the A World Championship. There's one here that says, such an embarrassment to Lucha Libre. The AI used gave him the AI belt instead of your own. So, can you imagine if you were a smaller company with a smaller branding? Can you imagine if you used AI and then suddenly your competitor, which is like, for example, let's say you are an alternate to Polaroid, okay, and you're smaller, more hands-on, and then you decide to use AI, and then right in the picture it says Polaroid for your advertisement. You didn't it? You decided to use AI and you went, oh, who's going to buy from you now? Who's going to buy from you now? I mean, Polaroid says that it's against AI use, and it advertises that way. And you who used AI, for example, as a smaller company, might have been better, but you just gave your... Ooh, damn, it's snowing out there. It's a whiteout. Everyone sees it as cheap, lazy, and they'll make fun of you if it's on social media. I don't know why any brand would risk this, especially if it ends up cross-promoting your direct competition. Is that what you decided to go for? Is that the brand that you decided that you had passion for? It's just going to be AI use and promote another company, or actually not have your brand on it at all? Can you imagine? That's even worse. Don't let AI ruin your passion by being cheap in the dumbest ways. So I hope that this gives you guys a little bit of a reason why, if there's some people out there that are thinking about using AI images for branding, whether it be videos or images or otherwise, this is a great reason and an example of why you shouldn't. These people have the money to pay artists and video producers and video production and a writing team, the top tier writing teams, and they're still incorporating AI. And I feel like maybe it's just because they're wanting to waste their own time. I don't know. They're wanting to unload the work to cut corners somewhere, but it's usually cutting corners in the wrong areas. Now, if you guys like this video, I really appreciate you coming along for the trip. I know this is a little bit different, but I felt like I just had to talk about this because this is like the 4th time that WWE has had issues with their branding or their videos or whatever happening because AI has been used so much that now people are noticing it, and it's just embarrassing. Also, I'm so close to 15K, like 100 more subscribers, and I can actually get there. So if you guys enjoyed this video and like talking about AI slop, making fun of AI bros and some shit, and then learning a little bit in between, because I like to make jokes. Also, tell me what you think of the new banner on my channel. I went and I changed it, so go look at it and tell me what you think in the comments. That's the proof. If you stayed here all the way to the end, tell me what you think of my new banner, because I worked really hard on it last night to try to make it cute. So is it cute or is it ugly, or did you like the old one? Anyway, also go to my Patreon, damn it. Go to the Patreon and subscribe to it. All right, peace out.